On Sunday night, July 12th, 2026, 8 miles from the stadium that will host the World Cup final in 6 days, New York City got a preview of what happens when American demand for a major event overwhelms the infrastructure around it. 10,000 people without tickets stormed the gates of Yankee Stadium during the final night of Jay-Z's three-night residency, shoving past ticket holders, breaching security checkpoints, and forcing a complete stadium lockdown that lasted hours. And this is happening 6 days before the World Cup final at MetLife Stadium, an event the Department of Homeland Security has officially designated a National Special Security Event, the same classification given to a presidential inauguration. Fans with valid tickets stood outside in the summer heat watching people pass out around them. Refund chants echoed inside from the people who had already made it in. Jay-Z did not take the stage until 12:17 in the morning, more than 4 hours after the scheduled start time. And 6 days from now, the World Cup final comes to MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, 8 miles away, with the most expensive tickets in the history of the sport and European fans flying in right now who just watched all of that happen on the news. Before we get into it, here is your quiz question, and this one is going to surprise you. How many local, state, and federal agencies are coordinating security at MetLife Stadium for the World Cup? Drop your guess in the comments right now because the real number puts everything we are about to cover into a completely different perspective. So here is what actually happened at Yankee Stadium on Sunday night and why it matters for what is about to happen at MetLife. Jay-Z's three-night residency was one of the biggest concert events in New York City history. Night 1 brought Beyoncé. Night 2 brought Eminem, Slick Rick, and Pharrell. Night 3 was supposed to be the grand finale. Instead, at around 7:15 in the evening, hundreds of people without tickets began storming the entrance gates in large groups, shoving past ticket holders and breaching security checkpoints at multiple entrances simultaneously. The stadium locked down completely. Everyone outside, ticket or no ticket, was stopped from entering. Videos circulated online showing people collapsing from the heat while waiting. Inside, fans who had made it in before the lockdown began chanting for refunds as the clock ticked past 8, then 9, then 10, then 11 p.m., with no sign of the show starting. Jay-Z finally took the stage at 12:17 in the morning. He addressed the crowd immediately, explaining that there were 10,000 people outside and he refused to start the music while people risked being trampled. He apologized personally, promised a good time, and then delivered a nearly 3-hour show that wrapped at 2:45 in the morning with fireworks over the Bronx, surprise appearances from Rihanna, Usher, and Jeezy, and an a cappella performance that sent the crowd home genuinely stunned. New York City has an 11 p.m. concert curfew. He will face a fine. But the story that traveled around the world was not the fireworks or the guests. It was the chaos. And this was not the first time something like this happened at a major American event. At the Copa America 2024 final at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, gate storming by fans without tickets caused similar scenes. Security overwhelmed, legitimate ticket holders blocked, the event delayed. That was documented. That was reported. And yet here we are 2 years later watching the same pattern play out 8 miles from where the biggest game on earth will be held in less than a week. Now here is why European fans flying into New York this week for the World Cup final are paying very close attention to that story. MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey is roughly 8 miles from Yankee Stadium. In 6 days, it hosts the biggest sporting event on Earth, and the confirmed situation at MetLife for the final is already significantly more complicated than anything Yankee Stadium dealt with on Sunday. There is no spectator parking at MetLife at all for any World Cup match. Zero. The lots have been repurposed for FIFA operations. The only official nearby parking is at the adjacent American Dream Mall, where a spot costs $225 confirmed by CBS New York. New Jersey Transit is charging $150 for a round-trip ticket on final day, roughly 12 times the normal fare confirmed by The Athletic. Every single one of those train passengers will pass through Secaucus Junction, the transfer hub that sits between Penn Station and the stadium, creating a single choke point that 40,000 people must funnel through simultaneously. FIFA has mandatory dual security perimeters in place around the stadium. And the cheapest openly available final ticket as of the spring sales window was $4,185, confirmed by Newsweek. For European fans who have been watching the Jay-Z story unfold from across the Atlantic, the optics are genuinely uncomfortable. In Europe, major sporting finals are managed within systems that have handled massive crowds for decades. Wembley Stadium in London and the Stade de France in Paris have each hosted UEFA Champions League finals, European Championships, and domestic cup finals, all operating within established infrastructure where ticketless fans are managed and separated from venue approaches long before they become a security risk. The Yankee Stadium situation, where 10,000 people without tickets were able to get close enough to storm the gates of a sold-out event, reads very differently to a European audience than it does to an American one. In America, gate crashing is a dramatic news story. In Europe, it raises immediate questions about what the same city's crowd management will look like 6 days later at an event 10 times the size with fans from every country on Earth arriving simultaneously. And honestly, the detail that ties everything together is one that most people have not connected yet. Jay-Z himself attended the World Cup round of 16 match between Brazil and Norway at MetLife Stadium on July 5th, confirmed by AP and Getty Images. He sat in the same building that will host the final, watching football 8 days before his own concert descended into chaos 8 miles away. The man whose stadium event just showed the world what happens when American demand overwhelms infrastructure watched the tournament that is about to test that same infrastructure one final time. The World Cup final does not have a curfew waiver option. It kicks off at 3 in the afternoon. It ends when it ends. $150 trains through Secaucus Junction, $225 parking, $4,000 tickets, no room for a security meltdown, and the entire world watching. All right, let us go back to the quiz. How many agencies are coordinating security at MetLife Stadium for the World Cup? The answer is more than 400, confirmed by New Jersey State Police Lieutenant Colonel David Sirotowicz via CBS New York. 400 agencies for one stadium. And that umbrella includes FEMA, which has awarded hundreds of millions in security grants for the tournament, coordinated under a White House task force that has been overseeing final preparations for months. The same New Jersey State Police described each of the 8 World Cup matches at MetLife as being the equivalent of hosting a Super Bowl. And the World Cup final is not just another match. It is a national special security event. It is the biggest sporting event on Earth. 6 days after New York watched Yankee Stadium fail to manage a sold-out concert, with Copa America 2024 already in the books as a warning no one fully heeded, 400 agencies are about to find out if that lesson was learned in time. Now I want to hear from you. If you are a European fan heading to the World Cup final this weekend, how are you feeling about what happened at Yankee Stadium? And if you are American, do you think MetLife is ready for what is about to happen? Drop it in the comments because this one is going to get a genuine reaction from both sides. If you liked this video, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications because the final is 6 days away and there is a lot more coming. And always remember, whether you call it football or football, the game always brings us together. I'll see you on the next one.